Hello everybody, Dark Ninja here. Today I'm going to be doing some high-level commentary replay analysis on some of my games in the Concept 5. So I've noticed there hasn't been that much Concept 5 content coming out of a lot of content creators on YouTube, so I decided to make some videos on the Concept 5, especially given the fact that I just recently marked it, and I had some decent games to share with you. Although I'm not going to just pick and choose replays this live commentary session. Instead, not live commentary, high level commentary session. Instead, I'm going to be just randomly selecting games and just giving you commentary on whatever comes out at the end. So it could be, 2,000 damage, it could be 5,000 damage, who knows. So we'll see what games we get today. So in the Concept 5, I run two loadouts. Firstly, I run Vents, Rammer, and Low Noise. And for my second loadout, I run Vents, Rammer, and then CVS in the spotting slot. The reason why I run Low Noise as my main loadout is simply because this thing's camo is very lacking, and its playstyle very much needs camo. And its gun is also good enough to not be using a V-stab. I just dropped the V-stab because its gun handling is extremely good. Doesn't need a V-stab. So that's why I'm using Low Noise. So this game was actually my 3-mark game. I said I was going to randomly pick replays, but this is a one replay I'm not going to pick because it was my 3-mark game. I'm just going to show you kind of the end of the session here. So we get Highway, North Spawn. I'm playing with Draps. He's my platoon mate. And I decided to come here and support the field. Normally what I would do... well, what I do usually depends on what our light tanks do in this tank. So this tank, you obviously have to snipe pretty much. Cannot play close range, ideally, unless you have to. And so there's two main sniping positions on this map. There's where I am right now, and then there's this position up here where the Type 71 is, by the bridge. Normally I prefer to play where the Type 71 is, but the reason why I'm playing here instead is because we don't have anybody spotting the tanks going into the city. So from this position here, it's really good if your light tank comes here and spots them going into the city, because you can farm them. But our light tank went field, and so since there's going to be no one spotting people going into the city, I decided to support our light tank in the field instead. And that's usually what I do on this map. I'll just go wherever our light tanks go. So I see a tree fall down there. Take a blind. Not sure if it hits or not. In this position, I really like to knock all the trees, and ideally you want to knock them in such a way that you're safe from getting spotted from this area here. And that's one of the main risks of this location. This position is actually quite risky, because you can get spotted from the position I just showed you. So one thing you need to pay attention to when you're playing this position is, first of all, are you going to actually have any spots here? Which in this case, the answer is yes. But not until, like, well, technically he can spot in here potentially, and he can also spot anybody crossing to A1, as well as anybody who peeks here. That's the main place you're going to be getting your damage. But one thing I looked at is what tanks they have. So they don't actually have anything really that can be spotting from this spot over here, because all they had was their light tank, who is dead. And now if you look at the remaining tanks, they don't have any like high camo medium tanks or anything like a DBV, which could potentially go down there with high camo. The rest of their tanks all have pretty low camo, so there's nothing really that I find likely to be playing there. And so I'm not too scared about that. There's also the chance that I'll spot for myself if they go down there, and then we can just kill them for free, basically. So, kind of just waiting for spots here. They do actually have someone go down there. It's a gag. And here, I know... Wait, it's in a second. Right there, I was just trying to get tracking assist, so that's why I shot his track. So you'll see I'm shooting at him right now. There's trees in the way between me and him, so he won't light me. Even if he was in the open, though, I still would shoot, even without being double bushed, because the chances of him spotting me at this range, if I stay stationary, are pretty low because I'm inside a bush, which gives me some extra camo. I have a video on that mechanic if you're interested. But what I didn't realize right now is the DBV is actually pushing our 1390. I think I just didn't see until now, so we have to focus out this DBV before he gets underneath our guns, but I have to be careful not to get spotted by him because I'm actually in range of being spotted now. I was gonna back up and just shoot him, but then he gets unlit, so I know that I need to spot him for myself because I can't trust my teammates to have enough fear range to spot him, so that's why I went forward there. Now shooting the E50, and I'm just trying to keep the bushes in between me and them, basically. Another bad shot there. I moved up there to try to... I moved in the open for a second so that I could get some spotting on him, potentially, and I do end up getting 200 spotting. So now looking at this game, everything is spotted except the waffle. So I know that I can push into this area pretty risk-free because there is only an STB who I'm almost positive is A1. The grill could still be here and shoot me. But I'm kind of thinking that this game is just gonna end quickly since I know we're probably gonna win the field, and so I'm okay with taking some damage if I have to, because if I spot them and they're in the open, then even if I take a hit from them, I will probably get full spotting on them because I have draps behind me in the DBV to shoot them. So I'm kind of just YOLOing in right now to try to spot the waffle and the grill. I think I have HE loaded. Could be wrong about that. Yeah, I do load HE. Go for the guaranteed pen on his side. And I'm okay with trading with him here, because I don't really need my HP probably anymore. At least it's not super crucial that I'm healthy, because I'm gonna need HP to win this fight in the west, like against the STB and the grill. But besides that, after I kill these guys, I'm probably just going to be going into their base and shooting tanks in the back, so I don't really need HP for that later on, so I'm okay with trading HP right now. And I get lucky again. I somehow bounced the grill a second time. I wouldn't have traded with the grill there if I had taken that grill shot before, though, because I wouldn't want to go down to a one shot. But since he bounced his first shot on me, I was okay with trading, because if I take that shot, that 750, I still have enough HP that I'm not a one shot, so I can play pretty safely. And as you can see, we're getting quite a lot of spotting here. Only 2,500 damage, but we have 2,700 spotting. Trying to spot the Artie there. I figure I would have lit him because I was close enough, so I don't see him there. I even said during the stream, this was streamed game, what I did right here was actually pretty risky. Because I know the Artie is probably down here since he didn't get spotted in the corner. And I was trying to keep this bush between me and wherever the Artie could potentially be, but I didn't quite do it right, so I do get spotted. And if you look at their lineup, they have a 183, and it's pretty likely, in my opinion, that the 183 is back here just aiming. So this was actually pretty risky. I could have died here. And I high rolled the Artie as well. Kind of lucky, but didn't really matter, I guess. But yeah, I'm trying to do some juking here to try not to get shot by the 183, but I don't spot him and I don't hear a shot either. So that makes me think the 183 is actually pushing towards our teammates on the 0 line. And right now, I'm just trying to get into the fight as quickly as possible because I have HP, so only the 183 is a threat, and there's just... the game is basically over, so I'm just trying to farm out some damage. I'm completely willing to trade with the Rhino as long as it's one for one. Shoots me a second time, but now I have reload on him, I think. Actually, I didn't, but it's okay. I can still take a hit. And yeah, at this stage in the game, with so little HP left, I'm completely fine trading 1 for 1 on the Rhino. And I don't need my HP against the 183 anyways, even if he was healthy, because He's gonna one-shot me regardless. So yeah, that was a 3-minute game. I'll quickly show you the post-game stats. So we have 4.4k scene damage and 3.1k spotting. Scene. And as you'll see here, I actually had quite a lot of blind. I had 5.3k damage, so I think 3 blind shots, and then 3,100 assistance. Not actually sure what the blind shots were on. Yeah, I'm actually not positive what those blind shots are on, but maybe I set someone on fire. I'm not sure. But yeah, overall, pretty good battle to finish off our 3-mark session. So let's move on to the next one. We got our brothers in arms out of it as well, which is pretty cool. Okay, so this game we get Ruinberg. I decided to bring my CVS slot out. Do I go mid or city? Okay, I switched back. I was gonna say I don't think. Did I go mid this game? Okay, I do decide to go mid. So I'm gonna go over the breakdown of this map quickly and how I play in mediums. So there's the first option, which I think is the best option usually, but it kind of depends on some factors. So first of all, if you need to get a good spawn for this usually, like in this area here, if you want to go to this position in the middle. The other thing you have to look at is what kind of tanks are going to be able to bleed you as you go into this position, because this is a very risky position to take off the start. So this battle, they don't have too much that can bleed me. It's mostly these DBVs and the TVP who I'm worried about, but they don't have too much that can bleed me. It's just mostly just these mediums and the DBVs, which, I mean, it's a fair amount, which is kind of why I was wondering whether I was actually going to play here or not, this replay. I think it's debatable whether I should go here or not. I think against double DBVs, it's pretty risky to do this. So in this replay, I think I just do this because I feel like it, but I think I even said, if I remember correctly, during the stream, when I was streaming this, that this is risky and I probably shouldn't do this, but I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just pretty risky because of those DBVs especially. But the other play I make, if I think I can't go to this position, is I go to this corner here. I commit around the corner fully, and then shoot middle and this area. I would say you need to be faster than a 430U. You need to be about as fast as a 907 or faster in order to take this position. If you're slower than that, then you can't take that position unless you're an IS7 or 260. Actually, those are faster than the 907 anyways, but you need to be at least that fast usually to take that. And it helps as well if you have good turret armor, but it's not completely necessary to have good turret armor to play there. And the reason why you don't necessarily need turret armor, because there's just like a hole down here, is because, as I'll show you in a second, you can actually knock over a bush, which will make it so that you can peek unlit here. So I commit around the corner, worried about getting shot by the DBVs, so I immediately bank left because these guys are not ready to shoot me anyways, so usually I would just go straight into this hole, but since I'm worried about the DBVs, I decided to cut left. Especially because there's nothing else that could shoot me here anyways, really. This is the tree I was talking about knocking over. Usually I knock it over as I'm driving into this position, but I kind of messed up this time. And so I'm hoping that I can just drive in the open and knock it. And then I just straight up miss it, which is pretty bad driving by me. But that's not actually going to be a problem because I can always just load HE and knock it down, which is probably how I should have done it anyways. I was just kind of worried about the TVP peeking super wide and like knocking it over the wrong way, but looking at it now, I could just do this later, knock over the HE as soon as I stop getting shots on anything or it's too risky to peek. And yeah, this position here is extremely strong, so you can peek hold down on them, get a ton of free damage on the area where the batch head is or the TVP. You can also wide peek if nobody's spotting you and spot their tank destroyers at A6. And the other nice thing about this position is this position here where the can opener and the Type 71 are, which again is the alternate position that I go to on this map. They can shoot them as well, and so you can get a lot of spotting damage this way, on top of just the damage farm you get. Now, in this position, there is one spot that you have to be a bit careful of, and that's this position right here, right on this corner, because there are bushes which will protect them from getting spotted, and so you can get farmed from there if you're not careful, especially if you don't manage to knock over the tree. Like, let's say you're in a bat chat and you don't have HE shells and you miss the tree on the way in and it's too risky to go back and knock it, then that position can be kind of annoying. The other thing you have to watch out for is if you don't have the best camo, and you're peeking here, then they can actually spot you through the bushes if you have like really bad camo. But most medium tanks will have enough camo. It's mostly just for heavies, where you won't have enough camo. But most heavies can peek their hull down without worry anyways, so. But it's just something to keep in mind. So yeah, we've absolutely decimated the field. And as you can see, I already have 3,300 damage. Because, I don't know, that spot is just a farm. And that's why I'm willing to take the risk to take that spot, is just because the amount of farm you can get there is crazy. Right there, I take an extra shot from the 57 heavy just to ensure that I hit his track, because I really wanted to get tracking there, just to boost my mark of excellence. As I said, I was marking this tank, and so, yeah, definitely not safe to peek into the 183. Not even gonna try to like bait a shot or something, but I hear him fire. Again, go for his track, but I miss it, unfortunately, and so I don't get tracking on him. But yeah, this game is basically just over. I have quite a lot of HP as well, so the only thing I really have to worry about right now is the 183 and the 4K5. If I take a hit from like the DBV or something, I don't really care, because I'm not going to end up dying this game regardless. I am a little bit worried, and I probably should have seen this before. Their 4K is unlit, and he's in this area here. He easily could have, like, came to this corner and shot me, or poked here and shot me, so I really should have been hugging more to the left, just to stay safe from those windows so that the 4K can't shoot me. And that's why I think I'm not driving in right away, is because I'm scared of the 4K. But my team has cleared the corner now. He's not sitting there. So it's safe to drive in now. Try to go for a track there, but unfortunately don't get it. And from here, it's just clean up. And I don't get the shot on the FE. So yeah, very quick game. 3.5 minutes. So not too much to talk about except the initial positions, honestly, and that tree, which hopefully you didn't know about that tree, and now you know about it, so that's good to know. And yeah, I talked a little bit about when to take middle versus when you shouldn't take middle. In general, I wouldn't take middle in a Concept 5 unless you're really confident in your aim. Well, first of all, you need to be confident you're going to actually get in there in the first place. Oh yeah, there's one thing I forgot to tell you about. There is one other thing you need to watch out for if you're going to take this mid position. That's not just fast tanks that can shoot you from A6, or like fast tank destroyers that can shoot you from A6. Usually tank destroyers won't shoot you from A6 unless you're kind of faster, because usually they're not out of spawn by the time you get in there, really, or just not pre-aiming it. So that's why I was worried about the DBVs, because they're faster. You need to worry about medium tanks that are coming here, but then you also need to worry about tanks that could be taking mid from their side as well. And so if you see something like an E50M or an IS-7, then those kind of tanks are likely to take mid, and so you need to watch out for those. That's another time when you need to reconsider whether you need to actually take a mid or not, or whether you should or not. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this replay. Pretty short one. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, for this battle we get Halluf northeast spawn. On this map in lightly armored medium tanks, there's two different plays. One is a standard play of going to B2 on the corner. That's what I actually usually do. even in a tank like a Leopard. I think this tank though is kind of pushing it to be playing the north because it doesn't have. It's got such a giant tumor on top of its head, and its gun is really low down on its turret. So if you peek hull down, they're still gonna see all of this. Whereas on something like a Leopard 1, its turret is much smaller, and so like the top of its turret will be like right here or something, and so there will be much less to shoot at. So for that reason, in this battle, I decide to go south instead, especially because they have a decent amount of tanks, a decent amount of fast tanks. Like they have like 4 medium tanks and then an EBR 90. And I like to take this position when they have a lot of scouts and also when they have a lot of mediums. And so the position I'm going to be using is the second place that I go in Halluf with lightly armored mediums, which is up here. This is a tank. This is a position that I like to take with light tanks as well. What you do is you just come here and you peek in this bush cautiously, and then you just get free shots on whatever's in the mid. So you need to be very careful here, especially if you don't have great camo. So this game I have low noise, so I feel pretty confident peeking into this bush, especially because it's a lower tiered game. And I don't really expect anyone to be able to spot me from over here since I have 30% moving camo. But if you have less camo than that, then you should be cautious peeking into this bush, and you should spot check. Just poke up and then move down, and then see if your sixth sense goes off before you peek into this bush. But I was pretty confident, especially with the bat chat and the EBR being lit already, that I could peek that unlit. Now, you obviously can't just sit here and just farm away because you're going to be spotted and there's a bunch of tank destroyers after every time you shoot. So after I shoot, one trick I do in the situation, instead of just sitting here waiting to get delit before I peek up, I'll actually just move all the way over here. And the reason why I do this is not only to get better artillery cover, which is the main reason I'm doing this now, but the other reason is it makes it less likely that they're going to just pre-aim you for the next time you peek up. If I play over here, then they expect that I'm going to peek over here or something. And so try to dodge Artie when you're playing here, because Artie does love to shoot you here. And try not to make it obvious that you're going to re-peek. But yeah, this has oversight into all of the middle, basically. And so it's pretty easy to just slowly farm these guys over time. Now I have all the time in the world to shoot this guy, so I'm not going to take any risky shots. I'm going to make sure that I hit. And oftentimes what you can do from this position is clear out the mid by slowly killing them over time and getting them spotted. And then after that, you can push up and push into their base. You can go down over here. You can just drive down this and then slowly make your way up like that. But as you'll see in this replay, I decided to do something a little bit different, if I remember correctly. There's a great accuracy of the concepts coming out, getting a tiny pixel shot on the E50, and I don't even get spotted for it. Another thing you can do from here, you can oftentimes get blind shots on that corner. That was a bad shot there. Where that KPZ E is. There's very commonly someone in that bush, and from out wide here, you get a good angle on it, so you can get some blind shots onto that if you have nothing else to shoot. One other advantage of this position is if your team loses the north, you're pretty likely to have a pretty good game, because you're probably going to be full HP, or at least close to full HP, and A0 is an extremely good defensive position, like extremely good defensive position, maybe the best in the game for late game carries. And so if you get rolled in the north, then it's actually a good thing for you, because you can rotate over. You can get some shots on them as they're driving in from where this 215B is playing, or from where your EBR is playing, on this corner over here. You can get some shots on them pushing down the A line, but at this point it's too late. A line is already dead. If I go to where the EBR is, then it's kind of pointless. Even if they were further back, and I could get in two or three shots into them, I would get stuck there afterwards. And so that's why usually, even if they're still killing some of my teammates over here, I still usually wouldn't go here unless I'm in a really fast tank, like an EBR or a CS, because it's really hard to run from here once they get closer, because they can spot you driving up like this. and then you kind of just get stuck here. You can't leave. So it's better to just play it more cautiously and play at A0, even if you think you can get in a few early shots, because it's hard to leave later on. So from here, I knock over this tree to give me a little bit more camo here. Kind of block the EBR, which I didn't really mean to do, but what are you gonna do? And here, what I want to do, ideally, is focus out tanks that are trying to push A0, because, and they're faster tanks as well, so it goes like this. First, focus tanks that are going towards A0, like this Toro is here. So I have free farm on all of these guys, like I could just permanently farm them, but I decide to shoot this guy because he's the biggest threat to me right now because he's moving into A0, so I focus him down first. And the second thing you want to do is, if no one's pushing A0 immediately, then just focus out the faster tanks, because those are the ones that can cross the open field easier to get to. And if you follow those two rules and peek well, then you're basically guaranteed to have a good time at the end of the game. I'm even willing to take a shot from this guy if I have to, just to kill him, just because I don't want him to be closing in on me and being annoying, getting like playing hull down beneath me, you know what I mean? So almost take a shot there from the Rhino. And if I remember correctly, I get screwed pretty hard this game, but I also think make a misplay. So I take one from the Rhino. I'm willing to take that shot just to kill him. I think it's worth it. But yeah, that shot there, I mean, that shot in the replay, it looked like it, when I was playing live, it really looked like it should hit, but I miss. So, but thankfully he, oh, I don't remember that. Okay, that was pretty bad. I still somehow don't take another shot. Okay, I'm misremembering this replay. I thought I took an extra shot because of those,
Sound muted.
Who the heck was... Okay, there's someone on my channel and I was unmuted. Didn't even realize. I thought I got screwed over by taking that Rhino shot, but he would have hit me anyways, actually. He just missed me twice after that. But yeah, now I'm in a situation where there's two tanks closing in on me, and I have a choice to make. So, I technically... And I think I make a misplay here. I have two choices. So I can either stay here and trade against them as they're coming in and get in some hopefully free damage. I got a lucky bounce from the Blisk as well there. Hopefully get some damage and just trade it out. And I see that our EBR is going to win versus this guy, so I'm hoping he can come and crossfire them with me, shooting them coming into me, and then I can hopefully just win the corner. The other option is to just run entirely. I'll probably take a shot or two leaving. I'll potentially even die, but I think if I had left soon enough, I could have done this and maybe only take one shot or even zero. And I think that's the play I should have made here. But instead, I decided to stay. The main reason why I decided to stay is not because I was really afraid of taking damage leaving. It's because I wanted to get the free damage into them, because let's say I make it out. Let's say I make it out without taking any damage. These guys don't take any damage from me as they're driving in. And I figure that damage would be important later on, because if they just cap, then I figured I would struggle to kill them both since they're both so healthy. But especially with the Bat Chat and TVP, I don't know what health they are, but I assume they're probably going to kill our Char. Like if their Bat and TVP survive and they're just like playing in any of this area, and I try to come around all the way to here to reset the cap, which is the best place to go to reset the cap, then I'm kind of screwed because they'll just shoot me in the back from middle. So I was thinking that far ahead. And I knew, like, if I peek from here, they're just going to shoot me back or drive at me. And it's going to be a huge pain. So I wanted to make my stand here because I thought it was the best opportunity I would have to basically kill them. Otherwise, I think I would be screwed. So I kind of understand my reasoning there, but in retrospect, I think it would have been better just to run. Because here I'm pretty likely to die. And I made another misplay here as well. I think I could have avoided this Blisk. Like, the play here is to try to isolate them so that, or no, it wasn't that I could have avoided the Blisk. I could have saved my shot for the Blisk. Because the EBR shoots him, and then if he's a one-shot, then I just kill him. But instead I shot the I-7, which was a big mistake. But yeah, they catch me here and I die, unfortunately. I thought I could get away from the Bliss, which is what I tried to do. I tried to dodge him, but he wasn't having it. So I think I kind of threw this game. We end up losing this game. Our ABR actually almost carries. He makes it a 1 versus 1 against the I-7, I think. But we end up losing, so... Actually, I don't know if he... Yeah, he made it a 1 versus 1 versus the I-7, but yeah, we end up losing. So, too bad I can't see how much combined we have. I think... Yeah, and the replay is corrupted, so I can't actually check the end plates on what record either. So, yeah, I think I had like 5,000 something damage, maybe, or 4.8 or something. Oh, it's showing now, 5.4 and 1200 spotting. So yeah, pretty good game, but could have been better if I had played a little bit differently. But yeah, hopefully you learned a new position with this position up here and how to defend up here. Remember the 2 rules. Focus the guys who are coming at you first towards A0. And then secondly, focus their fast tanks if rule number 1 doesn't apply. Alright, so next map we get Airfield. I decided to bring my CVS loadout, and the main reason why is I don't think I'm going to need my low noise on this map, because there's just no... I don't see myself playing in between the range of 340 to like 445 meters, and if I do play within that range, there's going to be a bush between me and them, so I'm going to get spotted regardless. So I decided to bring my CVS, and the main reason I bring my CVS as well, besides that reason with the low noise, is because I'm thinking later on in the game, if I play middle and try to spot the balcony, I might be able to spot it from here. If I just like poke up here, spot the balcony with my CVS, so that's why I brought CVS. In retrospect, I think low noise would have potentially been better, just because playing this mid area, positions like back here won't be able to spot you. Positions like their base might not spot you. I think that they probably will, but I think low noise probably would have been better. But yeah, that's the explanation for why I brought CVS. So Airfield, a very stale map. In paper medium tanks, I pretty much am always going to go to the perch. There's not much to really do from the perch except just wait there and hope that they peek randomly. But there just aren't very many other opportunities. I try to be cheeky here, and this is probably not something I'd recommend doing. I think it's actually a stupid play. But I tried to wait here because I figure I'm the first one up, and so I'm waiting for these medium tanks to come or one of these heavies, and I'm just going to put in one shot and then go up and try to avoid their return shot, because they probably won't be expecting me to be there. But in retrospect, I think it's a stupid play to do that, because their TDs up here, once you get spotted, can shoot you. The heavies that come around the corner or the medium can just snap you, and it's just not worth the risk. Like, I might get away with it. I'll probably get away with it for free, but more than likely, not more than likely, but pretty often I'll also just take a shot in return, so it's just not worth it. We see their BZ here, pushing up into the mid. This is the main place where you're gonna get damage on this map, is people trying to make this cross here, right here, or trying to push up like this. You can also get a lot of blind damage from up here, blinding their base. If somebody gets spotted on the edge of their base, then you can blind fire out their position. Especially considering there's really nothing else to do on this map except just sitting here, so you have plenty of time to take blinds. Let me talk a bit about the Concept 5. So here I gotta show on the TBP, I noticed him crossing, good situational awareness. The Concept 5 is probably the worst tier 10 medium tank. which is a shame because it's actually very fun to play. I found this tank to be quite enjoyable, but it's just the only stat that it has better than the Leopard 1 is its alpha damage by 10, and then its reverse speed by quite a lot. Its reverse speed is quite a lot better than the Leopard 1. It also technically has better gun handling, but if you put a V-stab on the Leopard 1, then its gun handling is pretty much the same, so yeah, it's not really that big of an advantage. If I were to buff this tank, what I would do is make its mobility better. I would make its camo better, and then maybe just as a cherry on top, I would either increase its alpha damage by like 20, or I would increase its DPM by like 200, something like that. And then I think it would be a balanced tank. But yeah, here, I see the E75 pushing around the corner, and I decided to take this opportunity to cross and just come farm some damage. But now the I-7 is close, I'm trying to go for tracking shots here to get some extra assistance. I did get some tracking on the E75, so it was worth it, but I get a nice snap into the DBV as well. Now I'm kind of in a tricky situation, though. I kind of put myself into not a great spot because their DBV is out here. That's high alpha, so I can't really cross back like this, or else he's going to shoot me because there's an angle through here, shooting through here. So, and then in the meanwhile, they're pushing up with their heavies, and there's an unspotted E50 who's probably playing around this area. So I'm kind of in a bad spot. I either have to sit here and just trade it out against the E50 if he pushes me, and hope that my team can deal with the heavies, or I have to try to get out of here. And so here, I'm trading with the BZ, which in retrospect was a bad idea, especially because I was actually exposed to the DBV there, which I didn't realize. So that was a mistake. I see that the 62P is not watching, and I do have reload on this BZ, so I'm going to go shoot him. But then as I go up to shoot the BZ, I spot the E50 behind me, and so now I do something crazy. So I'm 800 HP, and this guy looks like he's gonna send it. So I don't really have any choice right now, except to do something crazy. I'm pretty proud of this play actually. So, the other thing to note is everything is spotted, and so there's no DBV could be back here. It's just the Skoda is the only thing that could be back there, which is kind of scary because if the BZ and the Skoda shoots me, then I'll die. But I decided to track the BZ and just run behind him, and he doesn't even actually shoot me, which is pretty lucky. So yeah, I just saw this opening here, and I decided to go for it because otherwise I think I would have died to the E50 and the BZ sandwiching me. So yeah, pretty happy with that play there. Now it looks like we're winning this game. We're up 8k HP, and all their tanks are spotted, so I'm just gonna go help the south now. I have to be a bit careful now because I'm a one-shot for the DBVs and two-shot for most other things. But I decided to go above them because I can't really fight them head-on. But I decided to pull back for a second, or hesitate for a second to wait for our teammate to go. The reason why is the Progetto and Concept are unspotted. And I'm thinking that they might be playing here, so I decided to go backwards, I guess. Yeah, go backwards. Just so that I can run quickly if they pop up somewhere. But I decided it's not worth it to push here because our 430 is already gone and he hasn't spotted anything, and I'm just too worried about them poking up there, so I'm not sure what I do now. I think I actually go flank the north. I guess I'm just waiting because yeah. The reason why I'm just waiting and not pushing straight behind this Skoda on DBV is because their Progetto and Concept 5, they didn't get spotted here. Our 430 is pushing through. He's still not spotting them. So the chances that they rotated out were pretty high, and so I didn't risk pushing behind them yet. Is why I hesitated there, and it works out because their Concept 5 did get spotted. And there's the Progetto. I would have to rewatch the replay to see if pushing into that E75 was a mistake or not. I'm not actually sure, but I think what my thought process was, because it ended up putting myself in a bad position. But I think their I7 was out here or something, or like over here when that happened, and so I didn't really expect the I7 to push in. But also I saw the E75 dying, and I really wanted to get like full tracking on him because that would put up my marks a ton, and that's the main reason why I think I YOLO'd for him. I don't think I get anything more out of this game, if I remember correctly. Let's see. No, I don't think I do. Right here, I load HE for the Arty. And, I intuition back to APCR because I wanted to shoot this guy because I thought he was slightly around the corner. He's not. Yeah, it makes me miss out on the Arty because I wasn't fully loaded with my intuition, I don't think. But yeah, that's the game. 4,800 damage, 700 assistance. We did actually have one blind shot. So we ended up with 5,100 damage and 700 spotting. The blind shot was that shot in the beginning that I took on the TD perch. So that's how we ended up with the blind shot. Okay, so I just realized that I did this whole recording with, recording my screen instead of the game, so this might be pretty bad FPS, this replay. If that's the case and I decide to leave this in the recording, then I apologize for how terrible the frame rate is. So sorry about that, but next battle it should be fixed. I might put this at the end of the video as well, just so that you don't have to watch the bad frame rate until the end of the video, but yeah, sorry about that. On to the next if I keep this in the middle of the video, but I think this is actually going to be the end of the video, so because I'm putting it at the end. So thank you all for watching. I hope you learned a thing or two about how to play the maps that I presented or how to play in various situations, and please like and subscribe if you find the content, if you like the content and you want to see more, because more will be coming. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.